Today we're going to be diving into EV stock plays because they're on the move today. Tesla's doing pretty good. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the AI stock plays, but let me give you guys a sneak peek. APLD did some serious moves up. It went all the way to 990, but it got rejected. That's an important and strategic level. When it got rejected there, it confirmed to me that we're not pushing up to 10 or 11. We're going to come back and we're going to retest and reestablish the lows. My stop loss is set at $7.80. If that breaks, I'll be out and I will re-enter where I see support at $5.60. We're going to cover the AI stocks in greater detail tomorrow. I'm going to be giving you guys some new AI stock plays. After yesterday's down day, we have a nice green day today, and it's a good warning not to get too bearish too fast on these markets. Yesterday was obviously some early profit taking, and it does signal that there's a reversal coming around the corner, but we're just not there just yet. That's why I did that video, Stocks to Soar, which we're seeing Apple and Amazon moving to the upside. I want to start today with this video on EVs. I want you guys to check it out, and we'll discuss it in a moment.
1,000,000台车
This is a field of over 10,000 Netta V Chinese EV cars that are rotting away.
600多台啊，都是50公里以内啊，上牌新车。
And this man has just exclaimed that these BYD cars, all 2021 models, have less than 31 miles on them. Just like that field of 10,000 cars, they all have license plates on them, they're all fully registered, and they've been put away to rot. China is the land of shortcuts and facades, and all of these cars that you're seeing in this field, well, they're counted in those numbers.
Now, I cannot explain that video. I do not know exactly what's going on there, why those cars are there. Was there a flood? I don't know. In the video, he mentions that these are BYD cars. He also says that they're Netta EV cars, which are two different EV companies. But here's what this video invoked in me, and here's why I'm sharing it with you. There's always been the big question about transparency with Chinese companies, and that is something to be concerned about. What exactly are the numbers? Is there any manipulation? And we saw recently that Warren Buffett actually unloaded a ton of his BYD shares. He unloaded 2 million shares at the value of around $60 million. Was he aware of something, or is he just profit taking? I don't know, but I thought the video was interesting and wanted to share it with you. If you guys know anything more about that particular video and what's going on there, let me know in the comments. But I will tell you that it caused me to be more bullish on Tesla and have more confidence that Tesla is the best-in-class EV automaker. This is the Stocks with Josh show. I'm going to be doing a lightning round on the EV stocks today. Some very good technicals here I think are coming up. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the new subscribers joining this page. The market is up today because there was some renewed confidence in some of the data that we got regarding manufacturing and new home sales. It was higher than was expected, and it caused people to imagine that perhaps the Fed is not going to push this economy into a crash. We may not be tipping into the recession as many had feared. It bought us a little bit more time. And back to business, big tech is booming, with Tesla also doing very well today. But Tesla's been on a tear for a very long time. Tesla's been moving up for the last 6 months. We started in January at $101, and by the time we got to June, it was $277, and that brought the market cap up to $750 billion, which was incredible. And Wall Street seemed to be loving Tesla for quite a while. They loved the new charging station deal with Ford and GM, but out of the blue, when we got up to $277, all of a sudden, Tesla's been suffering some downgrades by Wall Street. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Barclays have gone to say that Tesla is overvalued. They've called it to go from a buy to a hold. And just that easily, Tesla gave back 13%, around $100 billion in its market cap. The concern is Musk's high-profile EV price war and the fear of failing earnings. This remains Wall Street's #1 concern, and it's not going to be resolved until we get to the next earnings, which is at the end of this next month, at the end of July. We need to see that positive data. We need to see eyes on the proof that Tesla's killing it. Until then, Tesla's largely going to be testing the bottom and moving sideways. We're not, I don't think at this moment, I don't think we can push up to 300. I want to take a minute to compare Tesla's price to earnings to Nvidia. Currently, Tesla has a PE of 68, but compare that to where they were in 2021. They were sitting at a PE of 190. Now, NVIDIA at the end of 2021 had a PE of around 89, and today it's sitting at around 219. Wall Street's attitude or view of the two of these companies has sort of switched. It could indicate that there's room up for Tesla if they continue to grow. Could indicate that NVIDIA is currently overvalued. Let me know what you think in the comments. So let's just go back a little bit in time. You guys know, if you've been on this page, that we started in a Tesla position at $153, which I called support. We rode that all the way up, and when it was in the high 250s, I said to you guys, I'm coming to the end of my journey. I'm coming to the end of my road. I'm going to take some profits, and I decided that I was going to take profits at 260. Well, the following day, I was able to close my position at 261, and it vacillated quite a bit, but that 260 range has proven over time to be a tough range for Tesla to hold. I then said in the very following day's video, I said, guys, I'm going to load up for the final push of Tesla in some call options, and I told you that I was going to sell that position around 267. Well, the stock went on an amazing run. It hit as high as 277. I was able to get out of that position around 274, and it's been falling ever since. After that, I gave you guys a trade range. I said if we get back above this number, we'll go higher. If we fall below this number, we're going to go lower. In a one-on-one conversation with Larry Jones, I said to him when he was in a position, I said, Larry, this is going to roll back up to 264. It'll be the last chance to get out, which would be profitable. He was able to do that, and since then we've been falling. Now, in yesterday's video, even though it wasn't about Tesla, and today I was talking about Tesla, I could see the moves coming down the road, and I told everybody, I said, guys, if this thing does not close above 254, we are going to go back test 239. We did after hours. I loaded back into my position because I saw that as a critical level of support, and we've been off to the races today. So let me give you guys the bones of this trade moving forward. It's a strong prediction. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if it'll play out this way. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold Tesla. I'm telling you what I'm expecting to do with this particular Tesla trade. I'm in at 239. I consider support at 244. So what I want to see it do is I want to close today above 244. Seems like it would be an easy thing to do because we're off to the races. My target price of taking profit is 262. And I currently have my stop loss set to 236. I could give you guys an hour-long talk on just technicals on Tesla, but I've got a lot to cover today. That's just the meat and bones of the Tesla trade. I'm going to go into a handful of other EV plays, but before I do, the fastest way to 1x your money right now is to open and fund an account on the moomoo investment app. This is only available for US and Australian residents. You guys want to click on the link to get the full details. You can get up to 17 free stock, but if you put in just $100 right now, they're going to match it. They're going to give you $100 plus 5 chances at stocks that could be valued up to $2,000 and a guaranteed share of C3 AI and AI Play. Get your free stocks, get your free cash, start investing with better trade tools. Okay, let's dive into Lucid. Lucid had a very interesting news story yesterday with their deal with Aston Martin. I'm going to read that to you guys. Aston Martin, Lucid reach EV tech deal. Stocks soar. British luxury automaker Aston Martin announced a long-term strategic technology partnership with electric vehicle maker Lucid Motors, which will see Lucid supply components and systems to power future Aston Martin EVs. Aston Martin will also commit to spending at least $225 million on Lucid's powertrain components and will also pay another $10 million to Lucid for integrating its technology. Okay, this is super important. We need to have a reality check. The stock did not soar. It vacillated up yesterday 5%, and it's up 10% today, which is really good, but it's not great. $225 million isn't going to do a dent in the amount of money that Lucid is actually losing right now. Tesla's price cuts have made competition 10 times harder, and it's made losses significantly worse for these other EV makers. I got to give Lucid credit for making a great deal with Aston Martin, but it's just not enough in my view. The last time that Lucid moved on good news, it went from roughly $6 to $18. Now that was a move. All of that has since been lost, and it's recently made a new low of $5 and around 50 cents. Now we're sitting at $6. The RSI is in the bear territory, which means they're in charge. It's got mild bullish divergence, but not much. Full disclosure, I don't own Lucid, and when I tend to look at the stock chart, I'm reminded as to why. I see support at $5.77. Stop loss, $5.66. Your target one would only be $6.66. That's strong resistance. And there's a ton of strong resistance all the way to $12. Every single level has to be reclaimed one by one because they're bag holders at that level. I do not have a clear buy signal in the technicals. The future of Lucid stock, in my view, largely remains under sell pressure. Okay, let's cover Rivian. I recently covered Rivian and I said that if it broke and closed above the $15.80 mark, it would pop. It could pop as high as 19 or 20 bucks. It was in a wedge pattern. But instead of it doing that and breaking to the upside, it failed at 1580. And it just shows you how critical these levels are that I give you. It broke to the downside. I did comment in that video that I was surprised that with Tesla's performance that Rivian wasn't getting a better sympathy bump. It's now around $13.50, and I'm going to stick with my technicals. For this thing to be bullish and for it to be a buy in my eyes, I would only be incentivized if I saw a close above 16 bucks. That's what I would be watching for. I'm going to give you guys a quick commentary on the fundamentals. Rivian recently acquired a company called A Better Route Planner, which some people perceived as bullish. I actually thought that it was an extremely bearish news story. You might say, Josh, why is that? Car companies, right now to compete against Tesla, they need to be tech companies. They need their own programmers internally. And some of you would say, well, they bought them. No, I don't think it's good enough. These guys need to be able to write their own code for complete vertical integration, and having this acquisition is going to be very hard for them to integrate. This type of acquisition is following the legacy model of growth, and I don't think it's going to cut it in this competitive space. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm sure that there's some Rivian lovers who absolutely disagree with me, but when I saw that news story, I immediately thought, that's why I invest in Tesla. Okay, ChargePoint. Let's dive into ChargePoint. The last video that I made on ChargePoint, I said that the stock could be moving to resistance at $11. It looked pretty bullish. However, it failed. It failed at $10 and it's since made a new low. That was not the right level of resistance. Yet again, it may be Tesla's win that dampened ChargePoint's success. Tesla winning the charging station standard probably played a big role in slowing ChargePoint's upward move. At this point, the best that I can give you guys is that ChargePoint is in decline. And you might say, well, Josh, how is that good news? It's always extremely good news to have a clear perception on the direction of a stock. Critical support is at $7.10, but if it loses $7, ChargePoint's going to be a $5 stock, and I think it would be very wise to accept that. NIO, let's cover NIO. NIO's had some positive news. They got around $740 million from a sovereign fund, and this calmed the fears of them running out of cash. Without that money, these guys perhaps would have been done. Because they're in the same boat that Rivian and Lucid is, they're burning through cash, and the problem is being aggravated by Musk's price cuts. With this influx of cash, NIO has a share value price of around $14. At this point, the sovereign fund will now own 14% of NIO. These guys are getting in deep. NIO did record a near $5 billion net loss in their first quarter, which at this point, it's absolutely critical that NIO posts an increase in vehicles delivered at a higher profit margin in this upcoming earnings, or NIO is getting very, very scary. Now, I did nail my NIO prediction. I saw a move up to $9 to $9.50, and that was a 40% pop from its recent low. It hit that target perfectly, and it pulled back to $8.30. After that, it pushed up to around $9.30 today. So what's next for NIO? Well, it absolutely needs to hold $9.15 for it to go higher. It's in a descending channel, which is actually kind of bullish, but I don't believe that NIO has found a solid bottom. It hasn't found a bottom and moved sideways for a period of time, which makes me nervous that it's still in decline. Real support at this moment is $7.50, and I think if you lost that $7.50 level, you're going to get a 30% drop on NIO. Local support is sitting at $8.40. So if you're in NIO, the bottom has not been established, and there's a ton of layers of resistance above, similar to the other stocks I mentioned. And what that means is that there's bag holders above you that are going to be putting selling pressure on the stock moving forward. Until they all get flushed out, the stock has not bottomed. If you're a long-term investor in NIO, you may not want to lock in this loss right now. That's up to you. If you're a short-term investor, I would definitely consider putting a stop loss beneath the middle moving average of the Bollinger Band, which is around $8.20. All right, that's all I had time to cover today. Tomorrow I'm going to go into the AI stocks, big and small cap picks. Hit that subscribe if you want to get that video. Thanks again for hitting the likes. Say hi, leave me a comment. As always, peace and blessings, fam. Take care.